I might jump on in there.
Speaking of streaming,
I was just to ask you.
I just streamed. Well, I was on stream with actually Shakedown 2012. If you guys know the 2K community, you probably know Shakedown,
right?
And we were just playing the Division 2,
which
happens to be one of our topics today. So
that's right. So what do you? What I have had it for like ever. I actually got a review code for it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't doing the score review for us, so I didn't make it a priority to play, and I have so much other stuff going on. But what is like? How are you feeling about it?
So the official asked me, bro, first impressions for the Division 2. To set you guys up, I am a Destiny player, so I'm familiar with this genre. And when the Division 1 beta came out, I disliked it very, very intensely and did not pursue the game at all whatsoever. So much to the point that I wasn't even interested in the Division 2 until I started hearing stuff about it. And let me tell you something. They have improved so many things in this game that I genuinely love it. And here's what's remarkable about that to me. So the thing that I always told people about Destiny is Destiny is a very flawed game. But the more you put into it, the more you get out of it. And this is why. The campaign, trash. The regular, it's about Destiny 1. Campaign's trash. The regular story missions, no good. The early strikes, But once you started doing Nightfalls, once you did the raid, once you started playing a lot of PvP and high-level PvP like Trials of Osiris and Iron Banner, that stuff was class of the console. Right? Like literally, if you play any kind of co-op first-person shooters and you haven't done a raid in Destiny, you are missing out on one of the most unique and awesome gaming experiences ever. So the whole thing was, the main game is trash, but the high-level game is tight. And that has been that was how Division 1 was. And even after they started patching it up, it was, the high-level game, Anthem, what was everybody asking? What's the end game like? What's the end game like? Division 2 is a legitimate Ubisoft single-player game. In fact, it's a little better than a lot of, I think it's better than Ghost Recon Wildlands, even if you just play it like a regular video game. Forget the loot shooter, forget the raid, forget the end game, forget the live game content stuff. And here's why, to get into what's better about it. First major overhaul of the game is in the last game, everything was a bullet sponge. Everything took 1,000,000 trillion bullets to kill. And on top of that, it was dudes running around in hoodies. So if you, I think there's just a certain point, I know it's a video game, but if I shoot a dude with a light machine gun and he's wearing a hoodie, I ain't trying to be here for 5 minutes shooting while he run at me. That's whack. That's bad game design. That's bad story design. It's not entertaining, right? This game, the things that, first of all, everything's not a bullet sponge. And here's what happens when you make everything not a bullet sponge. So let me throw you a scenario. If there's 3 enemies on the battlefield and they're all bullet sponges, the only way to make that fair is to give me a way to survive so that I have enough time to put 1,000,000 bullets into them. So if I do double damage, like headshots, and they take 3 minutes to kill, that means at best I can subtract it to 1.5 minutes. So that's 1.5 minutes of shooting something. But if 2 of those enemies are squishy, if I can kill them really quickly, but I kill them super quickly with a headshot, what happens is you give me the power to change the engagement, right? You say
shorten the experience.
Shorten the experience. So you say, well, instead of having 3 guys flanking you and setting up the big guy, if you're skilled enough to take out these 2 smaller guys, and that changes the dynamics of the gameplay.
Yeah.
So, and then also, and this is what makes it better than just a regular Ubisoft game. And I'm a fan of Ubisoft. Even when Ubisoft games are like, it's just another one, I still have fun with it. It's just not something I can recommend to everybody. But what makes it better, take Far Cry 5, which I've talked up on the show as a game that I really liked a lot. But I never talked it up as a game that I thought was a stellar 5-star game. Right. And this is why. And this is what I had a problem with Anthem. The artificial intelligence of those games is usually, they're just AI beings created to accept your bullets. Right? It goes back to early stealth games like Splinter Cell and Tenchu and stuff like that. Where the guys,
Splinter Cell.
Yeah. So the guy's waiting around, and what's he do? He gonna walk around the block all night until you walk up behind him and press Y. Right? So, or triangle, but we all play, obviously Splinter Cell with Xbox. In this game, the enemies behave like they have jobs, like they care about their own health. They know what you're doing. You start healing, they'll say, he's getting a health pack. You know what I'm saying? When they have a big guy, they will try to flush you out of cover so that the big guy can gun you down. They're constantly trying to flank you and take high ground. They have their own gadgets. So not only do they have intelligence, but they have different skill sets, which I would love to see more of that in a Far Cry game, right? Like a Far Cry game is basically person with a gun and animal, right? Yeah. Like a person with a bigger gun, but it's not that big of a deal. Like they're not really different people. Whereas in the Division, it's genuinely different classes of energy, of enemies with different brains, different tactics. And that gives you, with your different skills, different ways to disengage them. So even before I get to the high level game, it's already super engaging. And that's not even talking about the fact that the artwork is much better, the controls are tweaked, the menus and the, you know, all of the little things like how you invite friends, how you join a clan, how you mess with your equipment, your menus, all that stuff clearly looks like a team that has been paying attention to the little things day after day for the past 16 to 18 months and has put all of that knowledge into this new game.
Yeah. People don't realize how big sometimes those little things are, because it's not the kind of stuff that comes up when you're talking about features and that sort of thing, but it impacts your experience. And then you realize afterwards, you're like, man, I sure wish that, because not to go backwards, but my team has a lot of stuff like that, right? Yeah. My team has a lot of little things that you like, why do they have it like that? Like, why is it that when I'm scrolling through the results of the auction, when I do a search on the auction, why is it that you show me 50 million cards that I already have in my in my collection? Why wouldn't you just have a box that I can check that says sort out things that are already in my collection? Like that would matter. So that does that definitely is an impact. I'm gonna have to give it a spin. I have not at this point. I have a friend, one of my oldest friend, my best friend. I've known him since we were in second grade, and that's the only thing he plays. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's a blast, Brian. Like, like I said, I did not like part one at all. And specifically, the main reason I didn't like part one is because I felt the combat was very flat. I thought it was hide behind cover, dump bullets into the bad guy until you get enough loot that you don't have to dump as many bullets into that bad guy, and then find a new bad guy that you got to dump as many bullets back into. And you just repeat that over and over. I was like, that's not exciting to me at all. Whereas in this game, even from the very, very beginning, it benefits you to think. It also benefits you to learn the little pieces of tech. Like, for instance, you can hop over cover, but you'll hop over cover faster if you first back up and then hop over cover. Which makes sense. Right. When you're reloading, you can reload as you're running from cover to cover, but it depends on how fast your reload is. So you can reload and then dive, like and finish your reload when you get back up, so you don't take as many bullets while you're reloading if there's no cover available, if you're being flushed out by a grenade. It's all of these little pieces of, like, if you invest into your skills and get good at this game, you will be handsomely rewarded with a cleaner game experience. Right? When I was playing with Shakedown, we was playing with a guy, Black Hokage, we were having call-outs, right? Letting each other know when our turrets are up, when healing's available, looking at each other's flanks, and it all made for a much cleaner engagement, which just impresses me so much about the game. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna play. I told my friend, I said I'm actually giving it a chance today, this time, and I actually texted him today once we were started talking, knew that we were going to talk about the Division, because he hadn't told me what his thoughts were on the game yet. So I want to know how he's feeling, because I mean, he's a hardcore Division 1 dude. Like, it don't get any more hardcore than he is. So I really wanted to know what he thought about it. So definitely going to be interesting. So